Okay, well, waiting for others to join. Maybe we can prepare the sheets, tapes, and tissues. All right, we're not going to use the full sheet today. I think it's 12 by 9. You can just cut them into half, like 6 by 5, and we can prepare the tapes for the borders. I know most of you are just using mask tape, so I'm going to use the same. So let's prepare while waiting for others to join. And let's cut these kitchen towel into small pieces as well, so later we will use them to blend the colors. All right, let me see if I can change it to side. Okay, let's give a couple more minutes. I know we had a glitch and got disconnected. People just joining. All right, welcome to our first session. As you all know, it's going to be a 10 session workshop, and 5 of them going to be like pretty basics. We'll cover all the tools and techniques, and then we'll do some cool pastel arts. So the first 5 are going to be like pretty important. So let me show you what we will do in the first 5. We will start with this. It's a primary color art. It's a very basic art. We'll just use only one primary color, that's blue. And then tomorrow we will still use blue, but we will be using a little more shades to it. And next Saturday we will be doing the same, but we will be using the other 2 primary colors, red and yellow. And the 4th session we will try to use all 3 primary colors, and we will sketch this. And the 5th session, as I said, we will be seeing tools and techniques, and we will do this art with a couple of techniques that we learn on that week. Then after these 5 sessions we will learn more about the cool arts. We'll add like more details to them, right? So I think we can start today's first sketch now, which will be this. And before doing this, I know like a few of you were asking me about the difference between crayons and different pastels. So probably let's cover that before we go and do this first sketch. Okay, so let me show you a few differences here. Okay, let me use crayons. So it's a wax pastel. Pretty much every one of us have either used before or still using it. Okay. Let me use the same blue in oil pastel. It's a $9 oil pastel. I believe this is what we are going to use for the whole workshop. Which is this guy. I think it's not bad for this price. And the next one is like a $90 oil pastel. And just for the comparison, I'm going to show you some soft pastel as well. Okay, let's see the difference here. So this is crayons, wax crayons or wax pastels. So you see, if you try to smudge them, there'll be nothing. You can't really blend them or mix them. Whereas oil pastel, it's hard and maybe a little easy to blend compared to crayons. I think you can see the difference here. So it blends with the paper, right? So whereas $90 will be like a little more easier, and the colors will be like more bright, and the pigments will be more bright as well, and super easy to blend. I mean, the quality comes with the cost. And the last one is soft pastel. So it's a chalk. It leaves a lot of dust. You can see them, and you don't really need like any material to blend them. So you can just use your hands. These are just chalks. Super easy to blend, but it leaves a lot of dust. But otherwise, they are good. So now let's see like a double color to see if we can smudge them or mix the colors. Let me use other two primary colors, red followed by yellow. You can't really mix these guys, almost nothing. Now let me show you with $9 pastel. Sorry, my bad. Right, you can see them. They blend. Now let's see $90 pastel. So as you can see, the colors, no, they are neighboring colors, but still they blend well. Now let's check these soft pastels chalks. As you can see, like it's super easy. You don't need anything like tissue or like cotton swabs, so they blend great. Yeah, but as you can see, it leaves a lot of rust, but otherwise they are great. So I believe this gives you a little idea about different types of pastels. Then now I think we can go and do our first session art. All right. If you have any questions, you can leave your questions, or if you have any comments, leave them on the chat box. All right, so let's draw our first sketch. So I believe your sheets and tapes and tissues are ready. So if not, I'll give you a minute for you guys to prepare them. And I was telling earlier that we're not going to use the full sheet like 12 by 9. You know, we're just going to cut them into half and use it like 6 by 5, you know, something like this. And while you guys were enjoying, so we prepare these tapes and tissues. We cut those kitchen towels into small pieces, you know, like these to blend. All right, so let me push this a little closer. Okay, so now I'm not using the artist tape. I know most of you are using masking tape, so I'll use the same, but you know, you need to be a little careful because it's a little strong for these sketch pad papers. So you know, it's better to take the glue off if you don't have artist tape. Otherwise it might tear the papers or leave the rust behind later when you take them off. Right, so just do it a couple times and then you can put it on the paper. All right, I think we can start our first sketch. As I said, we are just going to use only one primary color, that's blue, and it's going to be super easy sketch for the first session. Okay, I'm going to use pale blue, that's number 14. Okay, you know some of you asked to change the camera landscape. Let me see if I can change that. I'm sorry about that. I hope it's changed now. So let's start. All right, so sometimes it might have some residues or dirt, just clean them off. Okay, wish blue, pale blue, it's number 14. Right, all set. So you don't really have to follow mine. You can be creative. So all we're going to draw is something like this. It's just going to be a blue sky, like white clouds. We're not going to add like a lot of details because we're not going to use any other colors. So we're not going to add a lot of details. So just paint them with blue and leave some spaces, white spaces. So that will be like a cloud. All right, perfect. Let's start. Leave some spaces here and there. But I would say not at the edges. Leave some in the middle. should. Right, so once we are done with this, we're just going to fold the paper, the tissue paper that we prepared earlier, just fold them into small pieces, fold them into small, something like this, and you're going to use this edge to blend them. Right, let's do it. It's not easy with the $9 pastel, but it does the job. So the bottom doesn't really matter, where we'll use a pencil to draw the mountains, so it doesn't really have to be perfect at the bottom. And today's intention is just for you to get the idea about the colors, for you to feel the colors and feel the pigments in your oil pastels and feel the texture of your sketch pads. Every sketch pad is going to be a little different because they say the tooth size will be a little different. So I just want you to feel those steps today. You don't really have to worry about the drawing that you're doing. I'll be happy as long as you feel those steps. Right, once you are done with this, then just draw a random mountain on this. Just use a pencil to draw this. They might ask me, like, why aren't we using black pastel? I would say, like, black pastel is the toughest to handle. So even a small mistake might screw up the entire drawing. So that's the reason we are not going to use, at least try to avoid black for the first few sessions. And the reason why we choose blue is it's the coolest color, though it's being believed that it's the hardest color for human eyes, but still when it comes to art, blue is the coolest color and you can draw pretty much everything with blue. All right, so that's the reason we started with blue, one of the primary colors. Okay, let's do another small one. You don't really have to follow me. If you can draw your own mountains and clouds, that'll be fine. So just color them with black, color pencils or pencil, whatever you have. In the later sessions we'll see like how to draw like actual mountains with more details. So I'm doing it a little lighter for the mountain behind it, just to differentiate it. Of course, we learn all these detailing in the coming sessions. That's it. We are done. So once you are done, you can take out the tape. As I said earlier, it's not the artist tape, but it's a masking tape. So you need to be a little careful when you take off the tapes. Otherwise, it might damage the paper. So when you pull this, pull away from paper, so it won't damage the paper. So you can see it damages or leaves the residue a little behind even after I take off. So you won't see this problem with artist tape, but I think it's okay for the first few sessions to use the masking tape. It does the job. Alright, so we are done with the first sketch. The mobile is still, I couldn't fix that. Anyway, I think we should be fine. Later I'll fix it for the next session. Okay, so we are done with the first sketch. All I want you to today is to feel the color and feel the pigment, feel your paper texture. So that's the whole reason I started with blue with this simple sketch. Right, and tomorrow we will still be using only blue, but we will try to use like a little more shades and details to it. We'll try to do something like this tomorrow. And before that, I want you guys to do one more sketch using only one secondary color, either orange, green, or violet. Use one of these three secondary colors and do a scenery sketch. That is something for you to practice. You need to practice more. We are going to have a lot of practice sessions, especially in the first 5 weeks. And then once you're used to your colors, once you're used to your pastels, then we can do some cool sketches with a lot more details to it. All right, so that's pretty much all for today. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thank you. Any questions? I know it's hard to text here, but you know how to reach me. So yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.